y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Samantha and I am back with another video. On this channel I do all things cash stuffing, budget me videos, savings challenges, as well as some live streams, anything to do with me learning about doing better with my finances, getting out of debt, and just living financially free. If that is something that you're interested in and you will love to watch videos like these, do me a favor and please hit that big red subscribe button, turn the notification bell as well so you would not miss an upload or when I go live. In this video, I will be doing a budget with me video, basically just gonna do a walkthrough and tell you guys how to start if you're just starting out on a low income. If this is your first time and you want to know how to start, where to start from. I have a lot of people ask me, how do I start? What do I do first? So I'm going to go ahead and go through that with you guys and just basically tell you how to set it up, how to start with your income. All right. So if that is you're interested, stick around and let's get on into the video. All right, let's go. All right, so I have my butt binder here and I am going to go ahead and go through it with you. So we're in the month of March, okay? And how I start my budget. Now, I do already have most of it written down, but I'm going to walk through it with you guys, okay? Step by step as I am doing it. I will go a little bit slower for people that are new and that would like to learn, okay? Well, this is just my no spend January, we're in March, Sam. No spend March calendar. And if you're a member of my YouTube channel, you will get this one every month, okay? So the first thing that I do, I start off with, write out my budget. What I know that I have to pay for the full month, I write it down. I do it halfway, but I do write down the main things. You're looking at your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, your mobile phone bill, if you have life insurance, your security, if you have a security system, your car insurance, car payments, those things. You want to make sure that you write them down on your monthly budget so you know ahead of time everything that you must pay for that particular month, okay? You write it down on a piece of paper or get yourself a monthly budget sheet. Grab and you just writing down what your fixed expenses are, things that you know that you will pay every single month. They don't change. You want to first write those down and the total and when they are due as well. Then you go into your variable expenses, and your variable expenses is where you write down things that changes, fluctuated. Sometimes it's higher, the next month it's lower, but you want to go ahead and write down your variable expenses. And some of those expenses could be your groceries. Some of them could be your household, like toilet paper, toiletries, your, paper towel, your cleaning supplies and things like that. If you have pets, you have to buy them food, right? You may need gas in your car because you have a vehicle you need to drive. Then you have your miscellaneous things that come up. And then I add extra cash, but miscellaneous, I put miscellaneous because it could be your spending, your meal, it could be going out to eat. These are things that you have that are variable, that you do not have a set amount each month to pay for. And then you can move over and you can do your savings. What are you putting your savings into? This is what I have for mine. I do TikTok savings, which I'm doing a 5K challenge over there. So I wrote TikTok down and put that amount. So for that month, I'm going to try to save $200. Emergency funds, you put that down in your sinking funds. Sinking funds are things like your back to school if you have children. Maybe you want to do a vacation, your holiday fund, right? Maybe you want to do something like, you want to purchase something, maybe buy a new car, a new home. Those are your sinking funds, things that you put aside money for. Then you go down to your debt and you write down all your debt for that month and how much your budget and how much you're going to, that you'll pay at that time, okay? The next thing you want to do, which is very, very important, I think this part, it gives you a better view of how everything is, okay? You want to make sure that you have a calendar spread where you're able to write down the date that everything is due, okay? Because based on your pay period, you want to put your bills in 2 or 3 or 4 categories, okay? For instance, I get paid twice a month. Well, for March, which is a magic month, I do get 3 paychecks for the month of March. But what I do, I categorize how my bills are due. So I know a certain amount of bills are due between the 1st and the 15th of the month. So I say this number one check should cover all of those bills, and then the next check cover the rest of the bills. Okay, that's an easy way to keep track of how you're going to pay certain bills. And that's why you start off by writing down the due dates. Because if you have a bill that's due, for example, we're in March. So on the 1st, I got paid on the 1st. So what I'm going to do, I know that I have my utilities that's due on the 4th, my ADT that's due on the 5th. I have my T-Mobile on the 10th and my Xfinity on the 11th. I have nothing else that is due. So what I will do is try to cover everything that's due those days and put them into those before I get my next check on the 15th. Okay, so I do my budget in 2 categories. I do 1st to the 15th, and you'll see on my next sheet, 1st to the 15th, and then I do the 15th to the end of the month. So everything that's due, if I'm able to pay, because some months I have to push one to the next check. But if I can pay everything that's due from the 1st to the 15th on that paycheck, that is what I try to do. So the next check will cover the next bills. So for example, my paycheck this month is only able to pay 4 of those bills, right? So what I'll do, I'll pay that before the 15th. When I get paid on the 15th, then I'll pay the next bills, which, for instance, my mortgage is due on the 1st, but they give me a grace period to the 15th. I already have half of the mortgage in the bank, so I'll just wait for the other half from this check because I know I have a grace period, and I will go ahead and pay off everything else that I have enough for that's due. The goal is not to let the money sit down, because then you end up spending it on something that you really don't need. Pay the bills that you have the money for, and that you know that you won't get a late fee on, or you'll be able to pay it on time. Okay, and then you make sure that the next bill that's due, you cover it when you get your next paycheck. So for my example, that is what I will do. So I already have half of my mortgage in the bank, so I'm not worried about my mortgage, because I know once I get paid on the 15th, then the mortgage will be paid and it will not be late. Okay, everything else, I'm gonna go ahead and get them out the way. So once I pay the mortgage, the rest money can roll over into April and or go into savings, because I won't need all of it on the 15th, and I only have like maybe 2 more bills left to pay, okay, or 1 more bill left to pay. So I'll just put half into the mortgage and the next bill, pay that, and then put the rest over into April. So you want to write it out on a calendar spreadsheet so you guys know the dates when everything is due, and that way you can categorize it. So you can say the first half of the month I'm going to pay these bills, and the second half of the month when I get my next check will cover these bills, until you're able to get a month ahead. Then you have everything kind of a little bit more streamlined to be able to have everything done for March in February, and everything done for April in March. Okay, that's my goal. So the best thing to do is to write on a calendar and see exactly what is due and when you get paid, so you know what bill can be covered based on their due dates. The next thing you want to do is, and this sheet is just for your monthly expenses, so you know when you're doing your expenses, you go ahead and you list them here. The next thing that you do is you want to get, when you get your paycheck, or sometimes you can budget the amount that you think you will get on your pay. Sometimes I do overtime, so mine have a variance, so I always add additional. So if I said on my budget I'm gonna get maybe $1,400 or $1,300 or $1,200, and then I end up getting 15, then I put the amount that I budgeted and I put the variance, the difference that I got, which is extra money, can go into savings or go help with other things. So you want to go ahead and you want to write down what you got on your first paycheck. So this is your budget sheet for your paycheck. How I have my budget sheet set up, I have each paycheck list down. So you have paycheck number 1 of March, okay? And then you write the total amount that you're getting on that paycheck. So this is what I actually received on that check, okay? And then what I did, the bill week, because I remember I have categories. So my bill week is from March 1st to the 15th for this check. So for this particular check that I got on the 1st, I'm going to pay everything that's due from the 1st of March to the 15th of March. Okay, because I know when I get my check on the 15th, I can pay the other half of my bills. Okay, so I list down all the bills that I know I need to cover based on their due dates again, so that they won't be late, won't get a late fee or anything like that. They will be paid between the 1st and the 15th of March on their due dates. Okay. After I calculated that and I see that I have a certain amount, then I know that I'm going to have variable expenses because listen, y'all, we have to eat, we have to drive, we have to, you know, take care of our pets if we have some. So we do need to make sure that we have variable expenses. So you need to still put aside money for variable expenses, put aside money for savings as well. And this is why it's good to write it down because you know that you covered your bills that's up until the 15th. And you also know that you have another check that's coming in. You can budget now and say, I can put $5 into this. I can put $10 into that. I can put $20 into that because you have already established that you have these amount of bills. You know when they're due and you know when you get paid and you have it written out and you know the total amount as well. So now you're able to see all the bills that you're paying for that first half of the month based on your pay period. And then you go ahead and you can write down your cash envelope, things that's going to be your variable expense. Okay, so for example, for my cash envelope, I'm going to put groceries, I'm going to do gas, I'm going to do my pets, household supplies, paying cash, my 2 kids, and self-care. I'm going to put a dollar amount into that particular envelopes in my cash wallet. So I calculate that and I put it down here. Then I go over into, and like I said, some people are not able to do it every month. Like some for the last, I think it was only February, I was able to stuff something into my sinking funds. January, I was not able to. You don't always do everything every month based on your income, okay? What I do the priorities, the things that need to get done, the things that I need to put away for, because just putting something away for the holidays, putting something away for vacation, those are important. But if you have things that are more pressing, that are more important before that, you can put money aside for that. So some of my sheets, you guys will see there's nothing for sinking funds, okay? Or there's probably nothing for savings that month because I either had to take care of a bill or I needed more into my variable expenses. For example, in February, I was able to put away a sinking fund into my back to school for my kids, as well as emergency fund, home repairs, and family vacation. I was able to do that in February. In January, when I did both of my budget sheets in January, I was not able to do no sinking funds at all. I was not able to stuff any sinking funds at all because I just had to take care of all the bills that was there at the time. So both of my stuffings for January, both my checks, I was not able to do any sinking funds, and that's okay. Okay, right? That's all right. So you want to go ahead and then you go over to your sinking funds. If you have more, you put it into your sinking funds. And based on my variable expenses, I didn't have enough to put into my sinking funds. So I took care of my variable expenses first. That's food, gas, of course, the pets, and then a little bit into my savings. Now I'm doing a savings 5K challenge on TikTok, which is a Save 5K, and I'm also doing the 100 envelope challenge squad, which is to also Save 5K. So these are my priority saving goal for this year. So I always make sure that I put aside funds for those particular challenges. Okay. Next paycheck, I probably will be able to put in more into my sinking funds, and that will be great. But what you want to make sure is that you take care of the most important things first. Okay. You get your bills out of the way, and then you go ahead and you hit your variable expense, and then whatever is left over. After I budgeted, the only thing I had left over was 91 cents. And I was like, 91 cents. Let me go ahead and show you guys. I'm trying to zoom in for you guys to see. I literally had 91 cents left after I had my bills, my cash envelope, nothing in sinking funds, my savings, and then the total, and then what was left based on what I came with was 91 cents. So that's what's left over. So every dollar that I received for this particular check has a home, has a place, went somewhere, paid something, or is being used somewhere. And that is basically the way that I do it. I know a lot of people may do it a little differently, but this is the method that's worked for me. I basically listed out, and I go from the most important to the next, which is your bills and your variable expenses. And then you go to the next. If you can hit the next for that particular month, you do. If not, then you just go wait till the next month. But the important thing is you are paying your bills on time, so you're not getting late fees, causing additional charges, and you're sticking to a budget within your cash envelopes as well. You know how much you eat for groceries based on your household size, and you know how much you need for your gas for your vehicle based on where you drive for work and so forth. So you can go ahead and put that amount in this particular category of your sinking funds based on whatever is left off after you have taken care of those bills that were due within that bill period, that week of your pay period. Okay, so that is how I do it. That is how I budget. I first make sure that everything is listed because you don't want to forget a bill. And then once you have it all listed down and when it's due, it's easy to be able to now maneuver. And you may not have enough for a bill. Okay, you may not have enough to pay a bill on that pay period. So your next bet is to go ahead and say, okay, I can't pay this bill. When is it due? It's due on the 10th or it's due on the 12th. Okay, what's the grace period for a late fee? Maybe 2-3 days. Can I pay it on the 15th? Yes or no. If you can pay it on the 15th, you go ahead and say, okay, I'll pay everything else and leave that one. And the first one I'll pay with that one first because that one, I only have one more day left to get a late fee. And that is basically what you'll do. But you won't know how to do that if you don't write it down and put it on a calendar and have your due dates listed down, because late fees do come on. They do add them and they do, increase your bill. And then that could be something that you put aside for your savings. Okay, so this is how I do it, and this is my budget with me for the month of March. Well, for my first paycheck. So you guys will see this video, and then you guys will also see my cash stuffing video. Love y'all so very much. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor, you guys, and leave comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if this was helpful for the persons that ask about how to start, how to write it out, how to set it up. Please let me know if this was helpful or if you'd like me to add anything. And I will be doing another one. So when I get my next check on the 15th, I will go ahead and do the same thing and just tell you guys how I was able to move from the first check to the next one and cover the bills that I needed to cover on the next pay period, rather, on my 15th paycheck. So thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you guys understood, and it was easy anyways to understand. And for all you guys that are starting out, this was very helpful for you to follow along. So do me a favor and leave some comments down below so that I can answer them and also help you out as well on your journey. All right. Love y'all. Bye.